Have you ever thought about how small habits can change our life? James Clear says success does not come from taking a big step, but from the improvement of small habits of daily life. This book is based on exactly this principle, that if you become 1% better every day, then by the end of the year, you can become 37 times better. Imagine you start your day every morning with positive thinking. You take small steps towards your goal. In the beginning, this change may seem small to you, but in the long term, its effect can completely change your life. This book is for those people who are feeling stagnant in their life, who want to get rid of their bad habits, who want to achieve big success through small habits. James Clear explains with his own story how small changes can change life. An accident had badly affected his life, but he started to rebuild his life anew. He learned that habits can become the biggest strength or the biggest obstacle for your success. The purpose of this book, every chapter of this book will teach you: 1. How to make good habits. How to leave bad habits. How to make a big impact in your life with small changes. James Clear says, your habits decide your future. What you do every day, that only becomes your identity. Are you ready for this journey? To know the secret of big changes through small habits, stay connected with Audio FM. First chapter, The Great Power of Small Habits. Imagine you are sitting in a plane. This plane is going from Los Angeles to New York. During the flight, the pilot turns the direction of the plane by just 3.5 degrees. This change is so small that the passengers sitting inside the plane cannot even feel it. But the effect of this minor change will be that instead of reaching New York, the plane will land in Washington, D.C. This is the power of small habits. When we change small habits in our life, we do not see the difference immediately. But with time, their effect can completely change our life. How do habits work? Habits are the automatic mode of our brain. When you learn to drive a car for the first time, you have to pay attention at every step, pressing the clutch, changing the gear, applying the brake. But as you do it again and again, all this starts to feel natural. Habits are the brain's way to save your time and energy, but these same habits, if not in the right direction, can also become your biggest enemy. The 1% principle James Clear gives an important idea in this book. Try to become 1% better every day. Now think, if you improve a little every day, then in 1 year you can become 47 times better. But if you become 1% worse every day, then by the end of the year your progress will be almost zero. Small changes mean waking up early in the morning, studying for 10 minutes every day, eating a fruit. These changes may seem small, but they decide the direction of your life. How do bad habits form? Let's understand this with a story. John, an office worker, used to feel tired often after work. One day he decided to buy chips and cold drink while coming home. He used to eat them while watching TV. This habit slowly became his routine. In the beginning, it was just a way to relax, but after a few months, John's weight increased. Now he started feeling more tired and his energy decreased even more. Bad habits slowly take over our life. How to identify small habits? James Clear says that behind every habit there are 4 stages. A. Cue. Any habit starts with a cue, like feeling tired. 2. Craving. This cue gives rise to a craving, like feeling like relaxing. 3. Response. After this, you take some action, like buying chips. 4. Reward. Finally, you get a reward, like feeling relaxed. By repeating this cycle again and again, habits are formed. Is it possible to change habits? James Clear explains that to change habits, we have to understand these 4 stages. To break bad habits, identify the cue and try to change the response. To make good habits, use this cycle positively. Your habits decide the direction of your life. If you want to be successful, it is necessary to make the right habits. Second chapter, How to Make Good Habits. We become what we do repeatedly. That's why excellence is not an act but a habit. Aristotle James Clear says making good habits is not magic. It is a process that needs to be understood and adopted. A story, a new beginning. Michael was a software engineer whose life had become completely disorganized. His work hours were irregular and his health was suffering. One day he decided that he would make his life better. He resolved to wake up early in the morning, exercise, and read a chapter of a book every day. In the first week, he felt that all this was very difficult, but slowly these habits became part of his daily routine. In a few months, his life changed completely. This is the power of good habits. 4 rules of making habits. James Clear explains that to make good habits, there are 4 simple rules. Let's understand them in detail. A. Make the habit obvious. If you want to make a habit, it is necessary to give it a place in your life. For example, if you want to study in the morning, keep your book at a place where you will see it first. Make your environment such that it supports your habits. 2. Make the habit attractive. To adopt a habit, it is necessary that it makes you feel good. For example, if you want to start yoga, do it with a playlist that you like listening to. Connect the habit to your desire. 3. Make the habit easy. Whenever you start a new habit, make it small and simple. For example, if you want to start jogging, walk for just 5 minutes on the first day. Make the habit so easy that it is hard to say no to it. 4. Make the habit satisfying. Habits stick only when they give you satisfaction. For example, if you complete your habit every day, tick it on a calendar. This small reward will keep motivating you. Small start, big change. James Clear says success comes to those who understand the power of small changes. Making good habits is a long process, but it always starts with small steps. If you study just 10 minutes every day, this habit can help you succeed in competitive exams. If you do yoga for 10 minutes every day, your health can improve greatly. Focus on the system, not the goal. James Clear gives another important point. Goals give you direction, but your system takes you there. If your goal is to lose weight, instead of focusing on the goal, make a good diet and exercise system. Goals will give you success once, but systems will make you successful again and again. What to do and what not to do. What to do. Fix a time for new habits. Add them to your daily routine. Start small. What not to do. Don't make a very big start. Don't make the habit difficult or burdensome. Don't try to make too many habits at once. Have you ever thought, can you start your day with a good habit? Try adopting one small habit today. Chapter 3. How to break bad habits. The direction of your life depends on your habits. If you break bad habits, your future will improve automatically. Bad habits harm us, yet quitting them is the hardest thing to do. Why is that? Because bad habits often give instant pleasure. But James Clear explains that every bad habit can be changed. Story: Mark's change. Mark was a college student who spent hours every day on social media. He knew it was harming his studies and career, but his attempts to quit kept failing. One day he made a firm decision to get rid of social media. He used these 4 methods. 1. He deleted all social media apps from his phone. 2. He set a specific time for studying every day. 3. He promised himself a small reward every week. 4. Whenever he felt like spending time on social media, he took a deep breath and asked himself, is this taking me closer to my goal? Within a few months, Mark not only got rid of his social media addiction, but also made it to the top of the class. The psychology of bad habits. Why do bad habits form so easily? Because 1. They are simple. Bad habits give pleasure to the brain with less effort, like eating junk food or scrolling social media. 2. They give instant pleasure. Even if the long-term results of bad habits are bad, they give immediate happiness. 3. They are repeated again and again. Repeating bad habits makes them a part of your routine. 4 rules to break bad habits. James Clear has given 4 powerful rules to break habits. A. Make it invisible. Remove from your surroundings the things that trigger your bad habit. For example, if you eat junk food late at night, stop keeping junk food at home. 2. Make it unattractive. Remember the long-term harm of the bad habit. For example, if you smoke, think every time about how much it is harming your health. 3. Make it difficult. Create obstacles in adopting the bad habit. For example, if you shop online too much, stop saving your card details. 4. Make it unsatisfying. Hold yourself responsible every time you do your bad habit. For example, tell a close friend that if you repeat the bad habit, you will have to pay a penalty. Replace bad habits with good ones. James Clear says that completely ending a bad habit can be difficult, but you can replace it with a good habit. If you eat junk food, replace it with healthy snacks. The important thing is not to try to change yourself completely, but to bring change slowly. The process of changing habits. First, identify your bad habit. Is it harming your health, career, or relationships? Second, understand the root cause of the bad habit. When and why did this habit start? Third, make a solid plan to change it. Can you replace it with a good habit? Fourth, be patient. Change takes time. Don't try to change the whole habit at once. Today's task. Today, think about one bad habit you want to change. Identify it and start the process of eliminating it. Chapter 4. The secret to maintaining good habits. For the long-term habits only benefit you as long as they remain a part of your routine. Success comes to those who strengthen the right habits over time. You started a good habit. You started going to the gym, eating healthy, or studying daily. But after a few weeks, you return to your old routine. Why does this happen? Because habits are not just formed by starting, they are formed by maintaining them consistently. Story. Emma's secret to success. Emma was preparing to become a lawyer. She made her study schedule regular, but after a few days, studying started to feel like a burden. Every day she wondered, can I do this forever? Then she adopted James Clear's advice. Focus on the process, not the outcome. Emma decided she would study for just 30 minutes every day. She made this time so simple that it was easy to do. Gradually, those 30 minutes became an hour, then 2 hours. This simple technique helped her top her law exam. Why do habits break? James Clear explains that the main reasons habits break are: A. Not getting immediate results. When you don't get the result of your hard work immediately, you get disappointed. For example, if you don't lose weight immediately after going to the gym, people give up. 2. Loss of enthusiasm. In the beginning, there is excitement in adopting a new habit, but after a few days, it fades. 3. Lack of consistency. If you don't practice a habit regularly, it slowly disappears. How to maintain habits. A. Start small. Make the good habit easy and small. For example, if you want to develop the habit of reading 10 pages every day, read only 1 page on the first day. 2. Stay consistent. Repeat the habit every day, even if it's just a little. For example, if you can't go to the gym, do a 5-minute workout at home. 3. Focus on the process, not the goal. Instead of thinking, I want to become a doctor, think, I will study 3 hours every day. 4. Remove barriers. Eliminate obstacles to the habit. For example, if you want to go running in the morning, prepare your shoes and clothes the night before. 5. Track your progress. Track your habit in a calendar or notebook. When you see your progress, your confidence will increase. Important principle, the 2-minute rule. James Clear has given a wonderful way to start any habit easily. Start the habit with just 2 minutes. If you want to study, just open the book and read for 2 minutes. If you want to exercise, just do 2 minutes of stretching. If you want to meditate, just close your eyes for 2 minutes. This rule works because once you start, it's easy to keep going. Make good habits. Fun. Add something you like. Add something you enjoy to the habit you want to form. For example, if you don't enjoy studying, have your favorite tea or snack after studying. 2. Pair habits. Pair a new habit with an old one. For example, if you want to read a book every day, do it while having your morning coffee. 3. Involve friends. If you adopt a habit with a friend, it becomes more fun. Remember, be patient and accept change. James Clear repeatedly says that habits are not formed in a day. It takes patience and dedication to form and maintain them. Only small changes bring big changes. Today's question: which good habit do you want to maintain for the long term? Start tracking it today and make the process fun. Chapter 5. The deep relationship between habits and identity. One of James Clear's most important lessons is that your habits define your identity, and your identity defines your habits. Until you see yourself as a particular type of person, your habits cannot become permanent. For example, if you don't see yourself as a runner, the habit of running in the morning will not last long. Story: Daniel's new identity. Daniel wanted to quit smoking. He tried many times but failed every time. Then he adopted a new strategy. Every time someone offered him a cigarette, he would say, "I'm not a smoker." Gradually, he started changing his identity. Now he started seeing himself as a healthy person. As a result, within a few months, he completely quit smoking. This proves that habits are not just actions, they become a part of your identity. 2 steps to changing identity. 1. Decide who you want to be. Ask yourself, if I want to succeed, what kind of person do I need to be? For example, if I want to live a healthy life, I need to be a fit person. If I want to become a doctor, I need to be a disciplined student. 2. Build your new identity with every small win. Every time you practice a small habit, you strengthen your new identity. For example, every time you go running, you tell yourself, I am a runner. Every time you study, you say, I am a serious student. James Clear calls these identity-based habits. Behavior versus identity. Many people focus on behavior but ignore identity. For example, saying, I will study every day is a behavior. Saying, I am a hardworking student is an identity. Changing your identity makes habits natural. How to change your identity. 1. Let go of old beliefs. If you think, I am lazy, it will block your habits. Replace it with, I am disciplined and I do my work on time. 2. Use positive affirmations. Every day, tell yourself, I am capable of achieving my goals. I am a happy and successful person. 3. Do new things and repeat them. Act like the person you want to become. If you want to be a writer, write something every day. If you want to be a fit person, exercise every day. 4. Collect evidence. Every time you adopt the right habit, it strengthens your new identity. For example, I studied for 30 minutes today, which means I am a disciplined student. How habits change your identity. Every time you practice a habit, it becomes proof of your new identity. If you study every day, you become a hardworking student. If you run every day, you become a runner. James Clear explains it like this. Every time you practice your habit, you are voting for the person you want to be. If you repeatedly adopt the right habits, your new identity becomes permanent. The success formula, be, do, and have. Most people follow the wrong approach. 1. Have, I will have success. 2. Just, I will do the work. Then I will become a successful person. James Clear says you should reverse it. 1. Be, I am a disciplined person. Do, that's why I study every day. That's how I achieve success. Start a new belief today. Think about who you want to become. Change your habits in that direction. As you practice your habits, you strengthen your identity. In the end, habits are the foundation of your success. Chapter 6. The Art of Breaking and Changing Habits. Habits are like a double-edged sword. The right habits can become your ladder to success, and the wrong habits can pull you down. James Clear says breaking bad habits is just as important as building good ones. Story. Rachel reduces screen time. Rachel had a habit of spending too much time on her phone. Every night she would decide, from tomorrow I'll use my phone less. The next day, the same old story. Then she adopted a new strategy. She deleted her social media apps and started keeping her phone in another room at a fixed time. Gradually, she broke this habit and replaced it with studying and exercising. 4 simple steps to breaking bad habits. Make the habit invisible. Remove the things that trigger your habit from your surroundings. For example, if you watch too much TV, put the remote in the cupboard. If you eat too much junk food, keep only healthy things in the fridge. 2. Make the habit unattractive. Remind yourself again and again of the harm caused by the bad habit. For example, if I keep smoking, my health will get worse. If I keep using my phone too much, my studies will suffer. 3. Make the habit difficult. Create obstacles to adopting the bad habit. For example, give your phone password to someone else. If you have to go out to buy junk food, you'll be more likely to cook healthy food at home. 4. Make the habit unsatisfying. Hold yourself accountable. Tell your friends or family to remind you if you slip up. The process of changing habits. 1. Identify the habit that is holding you back. Make a list of habits that are blocking your goals, like staying up late, spending without thinking, or eating unhealthy food. 2. Focus on one habit at a time. Don't try to change everything at once. For example, first quit junk food, then move to the next habit. 3. Make a plan. Take concrete steps, like turning off your phone at 10 p.m. or eating dinner at 7 p.m. 4. Repeat the change. Repetition strengthens your new habit. If you practice the right habit often, your old habit will fade. The mantra, don't start. James Clear says the easiest way to avoid a bad habit is to never start it. The first time you stay up late, it becomes easier to do it again. The first time you eat junk food, it becomes easier next time. So don't take the first step. A special message for listeners. If you want to change your habits, start now. Stay connected with Mental Matrix, where we bring you inspiring and educational audiobooks to improve your life. Subscribe to our channel and promise yourself to move towards success. Chapter 7. The 4 Rules to Make Habits Permanent. When you adopt a new habit, in the initial days there is enthusiasm and energy, but often after a few weeks this enthusiasm cools down. James Clear understands this challenge and says that to maintain habits for a long time, you need a system, not just motivation. Today we will understand the 4 powerful rules to make habits permanent. Story: Ethan's fitness journey. Ethan decided in January that he would go to the gym every day. In the first week, he worked out with full energy, but as time passed, his enthusiasm started to fade. Then he adopted the 4 rules of habit formation. Now, not only does he go to the gym every day, but it has become a part of his lifestyle. Rule 1, make it obvious. James Clear says, what you don't see is not your priority. That's why include habits in your daily routine. Tips: if you want to start studying in the morning, keep your books near your bed. If you want to drink water every day, keep water bottles in every corner of the house. Track your habits on a calendar. Rule 2, make it attractive. Your habits will stick only if you enjoy doing them. James Clear calls this temptation bundling. How to apply. If you find going for a walk boring, combine it with listening to music or talking to friends. If studying feels difficult, give yourself a 10-minute break after every hour. When you enjoy doing the habit, you won't want to skip it. Rule 3, make it easy. The journey to adopt a habit should be easy. James Clear says habits are formed through small steps. Set small goals in the beginning. If you want to read 10 pages every day, read only 2 pages on the first day. If you want to lose 5 kilos, start with just 10 minutes of walking. Remove obstacles. If going to the gym feels difficult, work out at home. If you watch too much TV, keep the remote in the cupboard. Rule 4, make it satisfying. Habits don't become permanent unless you enjoy completing them. James Clear says, reward yourself after completing your habit. How to do it. Every day when you complete your habit, reward yourself with a star. Give yourself a small gift for maintaining your habit every week. Tell your friends that you have achieved your goal. Why is it important to repeat habits? James Clear explains that every time you practice your habit, new neural pathways are formed in your brain. As you repeat it, these pathways get stronger. In the end, habits become part of your identity. For example, you don't remain just someone who goes to the gym. You become a fitness enthusiast. You don't remain just someone who writes. You become a writer. Special message on eAudio FM. Your habits create your future. We are with you on every journey that can make you a better person. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do it now and join us on this journey to success. Chapter 8. The Secret of Changing Identity. Have you ever noticed that we become what we believe ourselves to be? James Clear says that habits are not just a means to reach a goal, they are a way to change your identity. When you connect your habits to your identity, they naturally become a part of your life. This chapter teaches us how to use habits to change our identity. Story: Natalie and her career. Natalie always dreamed of becoming a successful writer. She often thought, how great would it be if I became a best-selling author one day? But she only thought about it and did nothing. Then she adopted James Clear's lesson. Work on your identity, not just your goals. Now every day, Natalie tells herself, I am a writer. She writes a little every day, and gradually her identity as a writer started to form. Today, her book has become a bestseller. 2 steps to changing identity. 1. Decide who you want to become. First, understand what kind of person you want to be. If you want to be a fit person, think about what fit people do. If you want to be a better student, think about the habits of a good student. 2. Connect your habits to your new identity. Every time you adopt a habit, remind yourself, I am doing this because I am a fit person, or I am studying because I am a hardworking student. Why are identity-based habits stronger? When you make your habits part of your identity, it becomes easy to stick to them. For example, if you see yourself as a runner, waking up to run in the morning is not a struggle. It's part of your identity. If you see yourself as a creative person, learning new things feels natural. Small step, big identity. Your identity is formed by small decisions. Every time you practice your new habits, you strengthen your identity. James Clear calls this the voting system. Every habit is a vote for your new identity. Every time you go to the gym, you cast a vote for becoming a fit person. Every time you read a book, you cast a vote for becoming a reader. Importantly, it takes time to change your identity. But when your habits start matching your identity, they become permanent. So ask yourself, who do you want to become? Are your habits bringing you closer to that person or taking you away? Chapter 9. The Magic of Consistency. The real strength does not lie in taking big leaps, but in taking small steps regularly. James Clear explains in this chapter why habits only give results when they are done consistently. Story, Kevin's practice. Kevin decided that he would meditate every morning. On the first day, he felt inspired and did meditation. On the second day, too, he got up, but didn't feel as much energy. On the third day, he thought, will it matter if I skip one day? But he remembered James Clear's words, consistency always matters more than perfect action. He kept meditating for a little time every day. After 6 months, he realized his mind had become calm and steady. Why is consistency important? A. Small steps bring big changes. Doing a little every day prepares your mind and body for the new habit. For example, if you get 1% better every day, by the end of the year you will be 47 times better. But if you get 1% worse every day, your progress will be 0. 2. Consistency strengthens your system. James Clear says that with consistency, you can turn your habits into a natural process. If you study every day, studying does not feel like a burden, but becomes a part of your routine. If you work out a little every day, going to the gym does not feel difficult. How to maintain consistency. A. Apply the minimum action rule. Whenever you find it hard to practice a habit, do its smallest version. For example, if you can't study, just read 2 pages. If you don't feel like working out, just do 5 push-ups. 2. Motivate yourself through tracking. Tracking your habit motivates you. Mark a tick on your calendar and make sure your streak doesn't break. 3. Remind yourself why you started. Whenever you feel discouraged, ask yourself, why did I start this habit? Am I moving closer to the person I want to become? Special message for listeners of eAudio FM. Your consistency will take you closer to success. Our effort is to guide your every step and make your journey easier. So stay connected with our channel eAudio FM because every day of your hard work matters. Chapter 10. How to overcome obstacles to habits. The path to success is not always straight. The obstacles that come in between make us stronger. James Clear explains in this chapter how to overcome obstacles when they come in the way of habits and how to keep moving towards your goal. Story, Aaron's struggle. Aaron set a goal to run every morning. For the first few weeks, he was regular, but then it started raining. One day he thought, I won't be able to go today. The next day, because of working late at night, he couldn't go again. Gradually, his running habit broke. One day he realized that if he kept making excuses like this, his goal would remain incomplete. He found his obstacles and the way to overcome them. Main reasons for obstacles and habits and their solutions. Problem: lack of time. James Clear's solution: look at your schedule and make time for small habits. If you don't have an hour, give just 10 minutes. Remember, doing a little is better than doing nothing. Problem: lack of motivation. James Clear's solution: make your habit easy and attractive. If you don't feel like going to the gym, do a small workout at home. If you don't feel like studying, start with an easy topic. Problem: not having the right environment. James Clear's solution: make your environment suitable for your habits. If you want to read a book, keep it in a place where you can see it. If you want to quit junk food, don't bring it home. Problem: making excuses. James Clear's solution: whenever your mind makes excuses, ask yourself, Is this excuse stopping my progress? Appreciate your small steps too. Mental ways to fight obstacles. Forgive yourself. If you can't practice your habit one day, don't be harsh on yourself. Missing one day does not break the habit. Start again the next day. 2. Be flexible. Obstacles will always come. If you can't run outside, do yoga at home. If you have less time, break the habit into smaller parts. 3. Celebrate your progress. Every time you overcome an obstacle, praise yourself. This makes you mentally stronger. Why is staying connected important? Our habits decide the direction of our future. Every small step you take and every effort you make to overcome obstacles writes your success story. So stay connected with Mental Matrix and give the right direction to your habits, because success is waiting for you. Chapter 11. Making habits a part of life. Habits are only effective when they become a part of your identity. James Clear explains in this chapter how to make habits not just a compulsion or task, but an integral part of your life. Story: Samantha's identity as a writer. Samantha always wanted to be a writer, but whenever she tried to write, she saw it as a task. Thoughts would come to her mind: am I worthy of this? Every time she missed a writing session, she felt she might never succeed. One day she read James Clear's book and learned an important lesson: connect your goal to your identity. From that day, she started telling herself, I am a writer, and writers write. Gradually, writing became not just a routine for her, but her identity. The science of connecting habits and identity. 1. Start with identity. Decide who you want to become. For example, I am a reader. I am a fit person. 2. Support your identity with actions. Every time you practice your habit, you strengthen your identity. 5 minutes of reading makes you a serious reader. 10 minutes of exercise makes you a healthy person. 3. Leave your old identity. Often we stick to our old identity. Thoughts like, I am lazy. Replace such thoughts with, I am hardworking and disciplined. 3 steps to make habits part of life. 1. Repeat habits regularly. The more you repeat a habit, the more it becomes part of your identity. Every time you run, you become a runner. 2. Celebrate small wins. Every small progress strengthens your new identity. For example, finishing a book makes you a reader. Waking up early makes you a disciplined person. 3. Change your story. Whenever you talk to yourself, adopt a positive identity. Instead of, I'm always late, say, I am punctual. James Clear's important message: your habits should not be just the result of your actions, but a reflection of your identity. When you develop your identity in the right direction, habits naturally become a part of your life. Chapter 12. Build the right system, adopt the right habits. Your success is not determined by your goals, but by your systems. James Clear explains in this chapter why just making goals is not enough. You have to give your habits a system that can bring change in your life. Story: Adam's system. Adam used to set a fitness goal every January. This year, I will lose 10 kilos. But by the end of the year, he would be far from his goal. One day he realized the problem was not with his goal, but with his system. He had only made a goal, but never built a system for it. After reading James Clear's book, he learned that goals give us direction, but systems get us there. Adam started going to the gym 3 days a week, no excuses. Gradually, his weight started dropping, and fitness became a part of his lifestyle. Why are systems important? 1. Goals are temporary. When you achieve a goal, you stop. But systems last longer. For example, if your goal is to read a book, what will you do after finishing it? If you build a system, the habit of reading will always remain. 2. Systems help you make progress every day. When you take small steps, they gradually bring big changes. For example, if you get 1% better every day, you can become 37 times better in a year. How to build the right system. 1. Start with small changes. Break big habits into small parts. For example, if you want to run for 30 minutes every day, start with 5 minutes. 2. Use triggers. Connect habits to your routine. For example, after drinking tea, I will read for 5 minutes. Before going to the gym, I will keep my shoes outside. 3. Stay consistent. Build your system in such a way that you can follow it regularly. Remember, consistency is better than perfection. 4. Measure success. Track your progress every week or month. This will motivate you and give you a chance to improve your mistakes. How does building a system change your identity? When you adopt a system, you strengthen your habits. Gradually, your habits become a part of your identity. The one who runs becomes a runner. The one who reads becomes a reader. Your habits and systems together make you the person you want to become. Chapter 13, How to Make Habits More Effective. It is not enough just to make habits. It is most important to make them effective and long-lasting. James Clear explains in this chapter how our habits not only improve life, but also guarantee success if practiced effectively. Story, Rachel's Habits. Rachel was a civil service aspirant. Every year she started preparing for the exam, but after 2-3 months, her enthusiasm would fade. Her friend asked her, "You work so hard, then why do you fall behind?" Rachel didn't know the answer. One day she read Atomic Habits and learned that just making habits is not enough. You have to make them effective and long-lasting. She started with small changes. She fixed a study time. She kept her phone away. She completed her daily goals. Gradually, her habits became stronger and her preparation improved. 4 rules to make habits effective. 1. Make habits simple. The easier the task, the more likely you are to repeat it. For example, if you want to study, keep your books on the table so you can see them immediately. If you want to run, keep your shoes outside. 2. Make habits attractive. If you enjoy the habit, you will repeat it. For example, reward yourself with your favorite tea after studying. Listen to your favorite songs after working out. 3. Make habits regular. Set a fixed time and place. For example, I will meditate every morning at 7 for 10 minutes. I will read a book every night before sleeping. 4. Measure progress. Write down your small improvements. Every time you practice your habit, track it in a calendar or app. This increases motivation. Learn from mistakes. Don't give up. James Clear says no habit is perfect. Mistakes will happen. Sometimes you will break your routine, but the most important thing is to start again. If you miss a day, make sure to practice your habit the next day. The real meaning of making habits effective is your habits will be as strong as your system. When habits become a part of your identity and practicing them becomes easy, you will be able to maintain them for a long time. Chapter 14, The Science of Changing Bad Habits. Changing bad habits is difficult, but not impossible. James Clear explains in this chapter how you can identify your bad habits and replace them with good ones. Story, Scott's Bad Habit. Scott had a habit of checking his phone again and again while studying. He knew this was reducing his concentration, but he could not control himself. One day he tried to understand why this was happening. He found out that whenever he felt bored, he would pick up his phone. He decided to keep his phone in another room while studying. Whenever he felt bored, he took a short walk or drank water. Gradually, this bad habit started to end and his focus increased. 3 steps to change bad habits. 1. Identify the trigger. Every bad habit has a trigger. For example, boredom, stress, or fatigue. Find out what is triggering your bad habit. 2. Remove or change the trigger. If your trigger is boredom, find a new way to deal with it. If your trigger is stress, practice meditation or take deep breaths. 3. Add a new good habit. Replace your bad habit with a good one. For example, instead of eating junk food, eat fruits. Instead of using your phone, read a book. Why do bad habits stick? Bad habits stick because they are easy, give instant pleasure, and become a routine. To break them, focus on their long-term harm, adopt a new identity, and track your progress. James Clear says, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. If your system is weak, your bad habits will always win. Chapter 15, The Long-Term Impact of Habits. Habits shape your future. James Clear explains in this chapter how the effect of habits is not visible immediately, but in the long term, they completely change your life. Story, Ryan and his friends. Ryan and his 2 friends graduated together. Sam decided to read for 15 minutes every day. Jack decided to work 15 minutes extra every day. Ryan did not make any habit. 5 years later, Sam became a successful entrepreneur, Jack became a manager in a big company, and Ryan was still stuck in the same place. The rule of compounding effect. James Clear says, Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Small improvements add up to big results. If you get 1% better every day, you will be 37 times better in a year. How to maintain long-term habits. Start small. 2. Track your progress. 3. Know your why. 4. Improve your environment. And 5. The long-term effect of bad habits. Bad habits lead to failure over time. If you keep eating unhealthy, your health will deteriorate. If you keep wasting time, you will fall behind. Identify your bad habits and improve them. Chapter 16. Turning Habits into Systems. James Clear's last and most important lesson is, focus on building systems, not just achieving goals. Most people focus on goals. I want to lose weight. I want to pass the exam. But goals are achieved only once. Systems create lasting change. How to turn habits into systems. 1. Make a routine. 2. Track your habits. 3. Keep improving your system. 4. Is celebrate small wins. When your habits become a system, you don't have to think about them. They become automatic. This is the real secret of success. Final message, James Clear says, success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. If you want to change your life, start with small habits. Make them a part of your identity. Build a system and keep improving it. You have the power to change your habits, and your habits have the power to change your life. Thank you for listening to this audiobook summary of Atomic Habits. If you liked it, subscribe to Mental Matrix. Stay connected for more such inspiring and life-changing audiobooks.